notion of the vaccine. Even I did.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. They called me and on Saturday and they said, we have יש לך תור in the 20 minutes. Are you coming? I said, I'm coming. זהו.
יפה מאוד.
כן, כן.
I just read that the Moderna vaccine is here now too.
Yeah. Moderna also.
I think they said 100,000 doses.
Yeah. But it's also two portions.
Yeah.
Oh, Shalom Gershom. Sharon is here, but she's not. יוסי, אתה שם...
זהו, המצלמה שלי לא עובדת בשום...
המצלמה לא עובדת? אוקיי.
כן, אז בסדר, אבל את שומעת.
כן, שומעים ו...
מתי יצאת ללונדון?
זה לא לונדון, זה הולנד.
הולנד. כן, הולנד ידעתי.
טוב, let's maybe start. שרון, את... maybe she will join. Okay, so as I wrote you in the WhatsApp group, what I plan is to look today, to continue today to read the Crystal. Hi, Crystal. Shalom, Crystal.
Hi, I'm sorry I'm late.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so we just we're just starting. So today we continue maybe one or two chapters in Leviticus, chapters 10.
Or I think we should mute. There's a lot of background.
Yes. I always forget this.
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah.
יופי, תודה. Thank
Well
you
done, Wendy.
for all for reminding this. Okay, so please.
Okay. I'm not muted, I'm sorry. And I tried to mute myself and I couldn't. Can you mute me?
Yeah, yes, okay. Okay, so we will read today, we continue reading chapter 10 in Leviticus and hopefully also chapter 11, at least part of it, but as time will permit us. And then we will start next time, and I think for three sessions, to read and to study Esther book, the book of Esther. We have, apart from this session, we have Sharon. Apart from this session, we have 3 more until Purim. So I think we will just get to Purim after finishing the book of Esther, which is very interesting to look at and to study. And so this is the planning. This is the plan. Sorry.
Ora,
Yes.
Ora, how are you enjoying Amsterdam?
Oh, נהדר.
I love where you're standing in Amsterdam.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. Look. Yeah. So let's begin. We will begin in chapter 10. We will read again the 5 first verses, although we read it, just to remind ourselves what happened in these verses, and then we will continue just to remind. So I don't know. Gary, would you like to read to us? So 10, 1 to 5.
The sons of Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu each took his fire pan. They put the fire in them, and they placed incense upon it, and they brought before Hashem an alien fire that he had not commanded them. A fire came forth from before Hashem and consumed them, and they died before Hashem. Moses said to Aaron, "Of this did Hashem speak, saying, I will be sanctified through those who are nearest me. Thus I will be honored before the entire people." And Aaron was silent. Moses summoned Mishael and Elzaphan, sons of Aaron's uncle Uzziel, and said to them, "Approach, carry your brothers out of the sanctuary to outside of the camp." They approached and carried them by their tunics to the outside of the camp, as Moses had spoken.
Thank you. Okay. So we discussed about the silence of Aaron, the fact that first of all the sin, why it was such a severe sin that the two elder sons got killed by God, and also look at number 5. They carry them by their tunics, right? You said, yeah, in their tunics. So we talked a little bit about that they were tameh, they were unpure or not holy anymore. So it was not to the other. By the way, the people who carried them were not the priests; their brothers. Were other maybe cousins of them, other Leviim, but they couldn't. They were forbidden to touch them. Okay, they touch only their clothes. And we talked about that Aaron and his sons, and well, their mother is not mentioned here, but were forbidden to mourn on the Nadav and Abihu. Okay, we will. I think we will get into it again when we continue reading. And now we will read 6 until 11. Yes, 6 until 11. Lynn, would you like to read it?
Please repeat what number.
Again, it's Leviticus number 10.
Okay.
6 until
Thank
11. Again, Vaikra 10. Yud.
Okay. And Moses said unto Aaron and unto Eleazar and to Itamar, his sons, let not the hair of your heads go loose, neither render your clothes, that ye die not, and that he be with all the congregation. But let your brethren, the whole house of Israel, bewail the burning which the Lord hath kindled. And ye shall not go out from the door of the tent of meeting, lest ye die, for the anointing oil of the Lord is upon you. And they did according to the word of Moses. And the Lord spoke unto Aaron, saying, drink no wine nor strong drink, thou nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tent of meeting, that ye die not. It shall be the statute forever throughout your generations, and that ye may put difference between the holy and the common, and between the unclean and the clean. That's it.
And one more verse. 11.
And that ye may teach the children of Israel all the statutes which the Lord hath spoken unto them by the hand of Moses.
Thank you. Shalom, Lisa. And okay. So
I have a question.
yes.
He said not to drink any wine or intoxicants, and yet that would be the law forever going into the ages. But we do.
Yes, but we are not the priests who I mean.
Oh, we're not the priests.
Yeah, this rule not to drink wine is regard only the work in the Mishkan or in the tabernacle or in the temple.
In the temple.
And and regard only the priests while they are working in the temple.
Okay.
This is very okay. Let's start with the point that you've raised. This the sages say that Avihu and Nadav were killed because they were drunk during doing what they did in the Mishkan. Well, there are many commentaries about this. This is one of them. Other one is according to the text. They used or they light for how do you say?
They lit concentrated on sacred fire.
Yes, they lit foreigner strange fire or something like that. So you can understand it. I mean, maybe it was the wine, maybe something with another fire that was not its source was not in the tabernacle. Anyway, this is the laws for the priest about the wine, and you know what? Let's I just want to talk before that on about verse number 6. This is what does it tell us? Verse number 6, actually.
Well, it tells us what we do. When he's told that we shouldn't do it, we know that that's the tradition of what they do.
No, but verse number 6 tells us that that the sons of Aaron and Aaron cannot mourn their Avihu and Nadav, okay? And who will mourn them? All the children of Israel, all Bet Israel, okay? Okay, are you with me? So, and then in verse number 7, we get the explanation why they cannot mourn, because because they have the ointment of the anointing oil of the Lord upon them. Okay, they have so it's like the anointment oil is a sign or a costume of holiness. Yes, and it cannot go together with customs of mourning. Okay, they must split it, totally split it. So, and what are the custom of mourning? Is the hair, the hair, is the torn clothes, and also I found it I don't know somewhere that the people who mourned, other people gave them to drink wine. So it's also something that, I mean, not to have wine is also, I mean, they were forbidden to mourn and forbidden to show any of the mourning sign. Okay, this is the point here. Okay, and the anointing oil of the Lord is not only upon their clothes, but themselves. Otherwise, it was written something else. So they cannot just go around in the outside of Ohel Moed. They are holy as while they are with all the clothes, the priest clothes, and the anointment oil and all that. Okay, so they have to keep this strict הפרדה, איך לומר, the strict, איך?
Separation.
Separation, yes, תודה. Very strict separation. This is, I think we can understand from this text that this idea of very strict separation between the priests and other people, especially people who mourn. Now, now let's look again at 9 and 10, at verses 9 and 10. So they are forbidden to drink wine, and this is for forever, okay? Otherwise they will die. And look at number 10, start with the word and, ve. So it continues the verse before that, right? And then we have another and or ve in the middle of verse number 10, uven hatame, okay? And then in number 11, we have again and that, this and this. So all this is, all this regards the same idea of what the priests have to do, okay? It's like different sections of their duty. They have to not to drink wine while they're coming to the Ohel Moed, okay? They have to lehavdil ben hakodesh uben hachol, to put difference between the holy and the common, and to put difference, I add, between the unclean and the clean, okay? And very, very important, you may teach to lehorot et bnei Israel, to teach the children of Israel all the statutes which the Lord had spoken, okay? So these are the duties, the priest's duties. And okay, another thing, we will just, we will see it in some other sources. Just make also, put in your mind that in this section, look at number 8. Who is telling Aaron what to do? It's not Moses now. It's directly God, exactly. Okay, this is also something different, that Aaron now is the high priest, is ordained, is qualified, and now God is speaking to him directly. I just want to share screen. Okay, so you see this, right? Okay. When I share, I cannot see you all, so okay. So let's read the first source from Ezekiel. Crystal, would you like to read this verse? Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Her priests have done violence to my law and have profaned my holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and the common, neither have they taught difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned among them.
Okay, so Yechezkel says here that they didn't do what they had to put difference between Kodesh lechol, holy and not holy, and clean and unclean. Okay, exactly what we read, that this is their duty. And also, look at let's read the blessing of Levi tribe from the Deuteronomy, the blessing of Moses gave them, not Jacob, but Moses. Who? I don't see you all. Rega. Wendy, would you like to read?
And
Can
of
you see?
Levi he said, Thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One, whom thou didst prove at Massah, with whom thou didst strive, and the waters of Meribah, who said of his father and of his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children, for they have observed thy word and keep thy covenant. They shall teach Jacob thine ordinances, and Israel thy law. They shall put incense before thee, and whole burnt offering upon thine altar.
Thank you. And also this one, Wendy, it's the same,
Okay.
same idea.
Take heed in the plague of leprosy, that thou observe diligently and do according to all the priests the Levites shall teach you. As I commanded them, so ye shall observe to do.
Thank you. Okay, another source from also from Yechezkel. Ginny, would you like to read this?
Okay, neither shall any priest drink wine when they enter into the inner court. Neither shall they take for their wives a widow, not her that is put away, but they shall take virgins of the seed of the house of Israel, or a widow that is the widow of a priest. And they shall teach my people the differences between the holy and the common, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean.
Thank you. Okay, that's sharing. Okay, so we see very clear these are the duties of the priests. Okay. Any comments of this?
Yes, I have several questions actually.
Yeah.
So you said that, and I'm sorry I wasn't here, and I apologize to everyone else that you have to repeat yourself. But what were supposedly the sins of Nadav and Abihu that they were killed? I mean, you said just now they could have drunk, were drunk, but that doesn't make any sense to me at all. Forgive me for saying so. I mean, I just think it says they have a foreign fire, and they lit a fire that they weren't meant to do, and so therefore they were killed. But is there something else besides that you have their sin?
No. You're right. I mean, according to the text, they had the foreigner fire, and actually, it was a strange foreigner fire because it's not the fire that God told them to do so. I mean, to take. And it says also that well, no, it is not said in the text. I mean, a commentary that it was the same fire that was that went out to burn the sacrifices of the people, and I mean, like did a fire that symbolized the fact that God is there and accept all the preparations of the Mishkan and they had a feast. If you read the very final verses of the previous chapter, you will see that they had some kind of a feast there, and all the people were very happy and sang songs. And the same fire, according to the commentaries, okay, same fire burned the sacrifices and burnt also burnt the sons of Aaron. And also we have in one side a festival and sing and songs and all that, and in the other side, and I mean 2 or 3 verses later, a terrible tragedy.
Okay. And along with that, I wanted to say, I mean, it also is in verse 6, Moses is telling Aaron and his sons what to do. And then afterwards, the God is telling Aaron and his sons what to do. But it brings me back, my memory back to when we were talking about why Moses seemed uncomfortable. We talked about the sign above the letter that can't, yeah, and that why Moses went uneasy. And I still would say that here it shows that Moses is, look what's happening. The whole Levites are falling apart. The Kohanim are falling apart and offering the foreign fire. And Moses is having to tell them what to do and to guide them still. And so, I mean, it seems to me that he maybe didn't feel he could really depend on Aaron and his children to really do the right thing all the time. And that's why he was concerned about allowing them to become high priests. And that's why that sign was above his.
And that's why what?
I forget the name of the symbol that was above the word that has the cantillation. The cantillation.
Yeah, the shoshelet, yes.
Yeah, shoshelet.
Yeah. So
okay. That's just, I'm just putting that all together for myself, and that's what I see, for what it's worth.
Yeah. בסדר גמור. Okay. So okay, let's go on unless someone wants to comment something else. So we have the separation. The priest duties are to separate between the holy and not holy, and the clean and unclean. And these are like the holy can be only clean, but the unholy can be either clean or unclean. For example, unholy is a person from Israel, okay? Not a priest, not a regular person. He's whole, he's unholy, okay? But if he touches, for example, a body or there are a few criteria that he will, if he touches a body or a few other cases, he will become unclean, and then he will have to go through a process to become clean. We will not get into this because just keep in mind that holy and unholy and clean and unclean, it's not exactly the same. I mean, the holy is not the clean, okay? Okay, so let's continue. 12.
I think that's discussed like in Kabbalah or whatever, because you can do things that are not, there are permissible things you can do that aren't so good though. I mean, there's no law that says you can't have a kosher steak every night, but it's not really a good thing to do. So you can do there are things that are like you can't kill somebody, that's not permissible, but there are things that are permissible that still aren't good for you. So it's kind of like what you're saying, there are things that are holy or there are things that are clean that are not holy.
Yes, of course, yes. But there is not a holy thing that is unclean.
Correct.
Okay. I found another, I forgot to say another commentary about not to drinking wine is you have to do the worship, the work in God, which is, we see that there are many strict details that you must obey. You have to be with totally clear mind and not, I mean, alcohol is not good for that. Okay, let's continue 12 until the end of the chapter, which is 12 until 20. Orit, would you like to read? אורית? רוצה לקרוא? רגע, אז תעשי unmute.
Okay, which line?
It's chapter 10, verse 12.
Okay, I don't know if this is, I'm reading from my version, okay?
Yeah.
And Moses spake unto Aaron and unto Eleazar and unto Itamar, his sons that were left. Take the meat offering that remaineth of the offerings of the Lord made by fire, and eat it without leaven beside the altar, for it is most holy. Continue.
Yeah, until 20.
And you shall eat it in the holy place, because it is thy due, and thy sons' due, of the sacrifices of the Lord made by fire, for so I am commanded. And the wave breast and heave shoulder shall ye eat in a clean place, thou and thy sons and thy daughters with thee, for they be thy due, and thy sons' due, which are given out of the sacrifices of peace offerings of the children of Israel. Is this version okay, Aura?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, what is the heave shoulder and the wave breast?
Yeah.
Shall they bring with the offerings made by fire of the fat, to wave it for a wave offering before the Lord? And it shall be thine and thy sons with thee, by a statute forever, as the Lord hath commanded. 16 as well.
Yeah, until 20.
And Moses diligently sought the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it was burnt. And he was angry with Eleazar and Itamar, the sons of Aaron, which were left alive, saying, wherefore have ye not eaten the sin offering in the holy place, seeing it is most holy, and God hath given it to you to bear the iniquity of the congregation, to make atonement for them before the Lord? Behold, the blood of it was not brought in within the holy place. Ye shall indeed have eaten it in the holy place, as I commanded. Oh, yeah. Continue.
Yeah.
And Aaron said unto Moses, behold, this day have they offered their sin offering and their burnt offering before the Lord, and such things have befallen me. And if I had eaten the sin offering today, should it have been accepted in the sight of the Lord? And when Moses heard that, he was content.
Thank you. Okay. So, something that
Lisa, could you mute, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this section, we have something in the of halacha, I can say, halacha of the how to sacrifice this and that. Okay, so I don't know if to really get into details, but Aaron and his sons as priests had to take the sacrifice of the mincha, okay? How do you say it in English? The meal offering, yes, the mincha, and to eat it in a specific way, because if it's holy and of holiness, I read I discuss 12, and then let's go into what happened next. Okay, in verse number 16, sorry. Okay, 16, okay. 16, so we had the mincha, we had another the rest of waving and all that, and then all of suddenly in verse number 16, Moses asked them, and not, I mean, in Hebrew, he not only asked them, he darosh darash Moshe, it was a very strong way of he commended them. Okay, what happened to the sin offering? Something like that. This is he didn't find the sin offering, and the sacrifices before that he found them. So he asked them what happened to the sin offering, and they say, oh, everything, and he found out that everything was burnt, and he was very angry about with Elazar and Itamar. Okay. And even the text says us these are the two left sons that of Aaron after the Hanotarim. I mean, it's not only his two elder sons got killed just a few minutes ago, half an hour ago. Now Moses is very angry with his other two sons, okay? So he asked them, why didn't they, I mean, I think we have to, you know what, let's have a little bit, let's look what are the different sacrifices, otherwise I think we will not, I will share screen. Maybe let's start with this one. Remember this table? I think from maybe the first, when we just only started the Vaikra. So we have all kinds of sacrifices, okay? Olah, mincha, shelamim, chatat, in sin offering, chatat, another kind of chatat. And only shelamim can be eaten by the people, okay? And mincha, just a small portion, can be eaten by the priests. But olah and chatat are not to be eating. בסדר?
Excuse me, Ura, could I have that page?
Yes, I send you in the...
I don't think I received it.
Okay, you know, so
like
just
I would like
maybe text me in WhatsApp. I mean, everyone, your emails, and then I can send you like I sent to Lynn, or I can send you material.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so just text me, not in the chat because I will have to copy it and all that, just in the WhatsApp. Okay, so chatat is not for eating, according to what we read in chapter 4. Okay, now I will stop sharing this, and we'll share something else. Actually, okay, so this is about the mincha, and here we can okay, we can only read this one. שרון, אולי את רוצה לקרוא רק את מספר 9. This is from Leviticus 6.
And that which is left thereof shall Aaron and his sons eat. It shall be eaten without leaven in a holy place. In the court of the tent of meeting, they shall eat it.
Thank you. So this concerns the verses, what we read, I think 13 or 12 and 13, okay? But let's see. Okay, and this is, I think I will not go into this. Okay, you know what? It's too many details. Maybe we can just talk about the section here. Okay, so what Moses asked them in 17. Says to us that Moses is asking why didn't they eat the chatat sin, okay, in the holy place, because it's holy, and we know that the chatat is not to be eaten. So there is something. This is another kind of chatat, and this kind of chatat that is not. Look at number 18. If its blood is brought to the holy place, it can be eaten according to the okay. Let's leave all these little details, but the fact is that Moses is very angry about something that the children that Aaron and his children probably didn't do exactly as he ordered them. And now what do you think Aaron can think of this situation?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What is the significant difference between that and they don't get killed for it, and what Nadav and Abihu did, well, they did get killed for it?
Yeah. Well, we only can understand that to light a strange fire is much more severe than to do this, to eat or not to eat. Yes, Sharon. But unmute yourself.
I think in the case of Nadav and Abihu, it was God who got angry. And in this case, it's Moshe who got angry. Moshe doesn't have the power that that God has to pass sentence.
Thank God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's very interesting what you're saying. Yes, you think that because of that, I mean, God could punish them. I mean, even, but yes,
he could declare his anger. But here it's Moshe who's expressing anger, not God.
Yes, very interesting. Well, maybe. And still, I think Aaron is, if I can think what is going through, he's terrified. I mean, now Moses is angry. What will happen now? And then look at number 19, what Aaron tells Moshe. Okay, so and also before that, I want to remember that Moses is terrified. He himself is very concerned about the fact that everything should be exactly as God said, in order that God will stay in the Mishkan and will remain within the children of Israel. So he is like he's very, he worries a lot about that everything will be exactly. So now if something they didn't eat exactly what they, I don't know what he said, so he is completely, I mean, he is worried also, not only, I mean, his anger is, he's worried of what God will say or will do also. You understand what I mean? He's in the middle between the Aaron and the children of Israel and God. And he's always also worries about that everything will be exactly what God.
He's become a little hysterical.
Yes, exactly. He is a little bit, yeah, I think. Yeah, Ken Sharon.
It disturbs me to think that the Levi'im, who are supposed to be beyond reproach, these are the priestly leaders of Israel. These are the ones who are setting an example. These are the ones who are doing the extremely holy and responsible work in the Mishkan. It sounds like they're a bunch of losers. You know, they're doing things wrong, they're committing sins, they're getting drunk. So what kind of people are these who were chosen? You know, it seems to me like they were not the correct candidates for the job.
Yeah. Well,
so what can one do about that?
I'm not sure. I mean, I wouldn't judge them so like you do, like they commit sins, because I think, you know what, I wouldn't want to be to have to do these things, and the smallest mistake you do, the punishment is terrible. Either, I mean, punishment.
Isn't this also?
I mean, they didn't get fired. They just.
But isn't it also the like they're learning to do it at this point still, right?
Exactly. They have just been qualified. I mean, give them some time to make mistakes, maybe, but no, they should not make mistakes just right in the beginning.
But they're not allowed to make mistakes. You know, Avihu and Nadav made a mistake, and were they told, okay, you know, you're just, you know, learning how to do the job, we're going to let this one go? No, it wasn't let go. They were judged very harshly.
Yes. Well, this is why I'm saying that I wouldn't judge them as losers or you know, I think it's very natural to make mistakes, to not to be so perfect every minute and every and look.
So why were they judged so harshly by God, and why did He punish them with the ultimate, which is death?
Difference between intention and a mistake? I mean, did Nadav and Eliel do something that was intentionally wrong?
Well, I
mean, they got drunk, or they put in the strange fire knowingly, whereas they burnt the offering and they didn't eat it because it was burnt.
Well, no, not exactly, but not exactly. But I mean, it's very interesting. First of all, we don't know what was their intention of Nadav and Avihu. We don't know, and the fact that it's not a fact, the saying that they were drunk. Well, the sages say that. It's one of the commentaries. As Ginny said, there's nothing about that in the text, and if I understood you correctly, Ginny, and the text says they lit a strange fire, whatever it is, a strange fire, okay? And the commentaries, you know, even for this, you have all kinds of commentaries about that. So
we're told that Nadav and Elihu did something wrong, but we're not told that the other priests did anything wrong. We're not told that we're not told anything about the Levi'im or the Kohanim. We're only told about Nadav and Avihu doing something wrong. So there's no basis to say that they're losers, because we're not told anything. We're saying, Aaron is saying that he was hesitant to eat this offering because they brought the offerings, the people brought the offerings, and then all these terrible things happened to him.
Yes.
And so he's saying that he was hesitant because would God have approved of them eating that sacrifice, the sin offering? And Moses thought he had a point.
Yeah.
So we're not told that Aaron made a mistake or did anything wrong. We're told about his hesitation to eat that, but we're only told that Nadav and Avihu did something wrong.
Yeah, I agree. And you were talking now about number 19, and we will talk.
Yeah, right. But I have a thought for when there's time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what, I'm just thinking, maybe the strange fire, maybe that refers to, strange fire is like with was it in the context with Eliyahu and the priests of Baal, and they were calling down to bring a fire, and the priests of Baal, whoever was brought the fire down first, and whoever's God brought the fire down first, was the true connection to God, the true God. And so maybe a strange fire is something like the gods of Baal's fire. So it's a fire that comes from another god or something. And so they were like defying the place of God in the people of Israel, of our God.
Yes, yeah.
And so if that would be a really serious sin, then that would be something, and that would require that you could understand them being killed for that. And that maybe, but I don't know. This is just a thought.
Yeah. I think you're right. And one of the commentaries about this Esh Zara, that it was like Avodah Zara. It's like something that you're doing that is the most serious sin that we can do, Avodah Zara. I think I also agree with Adina, and that and also with Yossi, that Moses maybe is a little bit too hysterical. And look about verse number 19. Okay, so Aaron. So first of all, Moses is angry with his sons. At least he addresses them and not Aaron. And that Mikra says, well, he was too because of the respect to Aaron. Okay, and so Aaron now is responding to Moshe that today they sacrifice this kind of the chatat, and look what he says in 2 words in Hebrew, and in English it's, and there have befallen me such things as this. Vatikrena uti, and look in the sentence in English, and there have befallen me such things as this. I mean, he doesn't talk very clear about what happened to him, but we can understand, and even in Hebrew, it's very unclear. What is Vatikrena uti? It's totally unclear. But we can understand that he means all the things that the killing of his elder sons, and that he even cannot mourn, so he cannot say all of what he feels and what he has on his mind. But what the commentaries say about this is that he couldn't think about to eat this, not to eat this. It should be eaten here or there. It couldn't just. It was too much for him. And then he said, "Okay, I did ate the korban chatat, the sin offering, and is this okay?" I mean, I feel that he it was too much for him, the anger of Moses, and too much of everything. And he said, it's like I am the high priest now. I say it's okay. And then Moses, it's like one commentary that I found is saying Aaron here taught something to Moses. The first I mean, his first teaching as a high priest. What do you think about this attitude? Because verse number 19 is unclear. It's very unclear. I mean, what can you understand from verse number 19? It's in Hebrew, it's totally unclear. Maybe in English it's better, but I feel like he said, let us be, everything is okay. We ate, they burned they burnt what they had to burn, but I did eat the sin offering as I should have. By the way, one of the commentator say that I don't remember who, but they didn't eat it. They did a mistake, but they made mistake, but just went by.
I think there was here a bit of a power struggle between Moses and Aaron.
Yes.
Because Aaron was made a high priest and Moses had been the leader.
Yes.
And I'm looking to modern days with all the power struggles and what people think they can do and how people are selected for these high jobs. And I'm not surprised at all this going on, because this is human nature. I don't think humans were any different then than they are today. And we can see what's going on today.
Yeah. I think that, yeah.
Or it sounds like someone's got ego problem.
Who? Ego problems?
One of them has an ego problem, like jealous of the other one.
Moses got ego problem? Maybe. What do you think? Moses got ego problem?
I think if he does, I never thought of that, but if he does have an ego problem, it's not so much ego as what's the opposite of ego when you don't think so highly of yourself.
Yeah, he's too worried. He's too worried.
In the commentary in the Hertz Chumash on that verse, it says Aaron spoke because although the rebuke had been addressed to the sons, it had been intended for him. As on this day, the priests had to secure atonement for themselves, they did not deem themselves in a state of purity to share in the solemn rite of eating the people's sin offering. That feeling of imperfection became intensified when such things as these, the deaths of Nadav and Abihu, had befallen them. That's just a reading from the Hertz about that verse.
It was
so that they didn't feel that they were in a state of purity that they should eat the sin offering.
Yes. This is yeah. So
because of all the terrible things that happened to them that day.
Because they were tmeim, they were impure. They thought they couldn't eat the chatat, right? This is what.
Right. That's what Hertz says.
Yeah. Okay, so one of I told you I have this book of Jacob Milgrom of. Doesn't say. Okay, never mind. Of Jacob Milgrom, who wrote about specifically about Leviticus, and he says this is like a borderline case between what to do right or wrong, and because they had what you said, Adina, I mean it is a commentary. We don't know what they thought, right? But we can understand that they, yeah, it is something that we can think that they could think of, because it's a borderline case of a mistake or not a mistake. Aaron here took his leadership. I think he said, "This is what I did. I ate it," and I agree with Wendy that it is there. Maybe there is some kind of I don't know if power מאבק כוחות maybe just Aaron says, now I'm the high priest. Look what happened to me. Everything is okay. Leave us be, or something like that. But this is just a way of understand this.
It's a very difficult moment because Aaron didn't bury his son yet, and he have to thought about all the details of the sacrifice. It's not bad. It's unbelievable.
Yes, exactly. This is why I think that he tells. I think this is the meaning of the words "vatikrena oti," and in English, and there have been falling me such things as this. I mean, I had so much on my mind, but he cannot even express it because it's forbidden to mourn, and he cannot be, oh, I'm so, I don't know, I miss my kids or something like that. Anyway, the chapter ends in a good. I mean, we can.
I think it ends with a
with a relief, I think.
I think it ends with a very important phrase, verse 20. And when Moses heard this, he approved. I think it means he recognizes that Aaron is the high priest and that he is not.
Yes. You know what? I also agree with this, but the fact that Moses got angry with the high priest's sons, also he didn't say this to Aaron himself, but the fact. So one of the commentaries says, so the prophet is higher than the high priest. I don't know. For you to judge. I think here the high priest says, I'm now the high priest and I know what to do. And okay, and so anyway, let's start. Unless you want to say something else, we can start number 11. And I hope you are not too hungry. Okay, who didn't read? Lisa, would you like to read? No? Okay. Yuda, Shlomo, Yuda. And then, so Yuda read, well, this is a long one. So between 1 to 25.
And the Lord spoke unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the living things which you may eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parted the hoof, and is wholly cloven-footed, and chewed the cud among the beasts, that may ye eat. Nevertheless, this shall ye not eat of them that only chew the cud, or of them that only part the hoof, the camel, because he chewed the cud, but parted not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the rock badger, because he chewed the cud, but parted not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the hare, because she chewed the cud, but parted not the hoof, she is unclean unto you. And the swine, because he parted the hoof, and he is cloven-footed, but chewed not the cud, he is unclean unto you. Of their flesh you shall not eat, and their carcasses you shall not touch, they are unclean unto you. These may ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever had fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them may ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that swarm in the waters, and of all the living creatures that are in the waters, they are a detestable thing unto you. and they shall be a detestable thing unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, and their carcasses ye shall have in detestation. Whatever had no fins, nor scales in the waters, that is a detestable thing unto you. And these ye shall have in detestation among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are a detestable thing, the great vulture, and the bearded vulture, and the osprey, and the
Sorry,
kite.
Yuda, I will stop you here because
Yeah,
we still have a few minutes, and then I would like to discuss something. So the rest is, I think we all know the kashrut rules, and first of all this section tells us what not to eat, right? Especially what not to eat. Okay, I think it does not, or maybe I'm wrong, but I think it does not specify what to eat. Oh yeah, in number 3, only verse number 3, it does, but it doesn't point out exactly what animals. Okay, and look how many animals we shouldn't eat. Why is there? I mean, there are so many animals, okay, around. Why? And okay, according to the verse number, what we can eat, according to the commentaries, they say that all that that have to be sacrificed, we can eat. So it's like it's obvious. So it's cattle, and it's sheep and goats. Okay, this is kosher, and of course chicken. But okay, and later they say what fish we can eat and all that. Why do you think? First, why do you think that it points out exactly what not to eat? And also, why do you think we can eat so small part of all the animal around? There are so many animals. Why can't we eat everything? Everything. I mean, at least or half, and I mean, it's maybe 10%, maybe less. I don't know. רגע, יוסי, אתה במיוט.
It's for our days to give for thousands of people job in the Rabbanut. So
Exactly.
yes,
And to pay a lot for the תעודת כשרות on
yes,
every restaurant.
those הפסוקים האלה, those for give a job for thousands of people.
Okay.
We're starting just with the first paragraph that we read. All the animals that we are permitted to eat are vegetarians.
Yes.
They're not predators.
But also rabbit is vegetarian, and also a camel is vegetarian, and a chazir maybe not, but yeah.
Well, I'm not saying anything about the
right.
other animals. I was just the observation that
Yes.
Sheep, goats, cattle are all
vegetarian. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. Maybe there are more of them than there are of predators. If you think about, if you watch, nature shows or something, so these big herds of all these animals, and you don't see so many of the predators at the same time.
Remind me, what is predators?
Big cats, dogs, wolves, that kill animals.
טורפים. Yeah. Predators are טורפים. Yeah, I forgot.
not the prey, but the ones who kill the prey. The prey are the what they kill. Okay, so
yeah,
it's just an observation. I don't know why. I don't have any thoughts about why, but just an observation that those animals that we are permitted to eat.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I
it's
don't.
only mammals. We're not. I mean, we're not allowed to eat reptiles. There are certain birds and certain fish we can eat, but the big things. I mean, this paragraph we're talking about mammals that are vegetarian.
Yes, yes, you're right. Yeah, I want you to remind you that at first in Genesis, Adam and Eve were vegetarian. We in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, they could rule the animals. Genesis 1, they could rule the animals, but they had to eat from Esev Kitas, from fruits and grains and all kind of this. And then after the Mabul, the flood. Flood. Okay. Then God agreed and permit them to eat also some animals, but well, we can. I will just tell you what I read about that, and I think it's very nice way to think about it. We are permitted to eat only small number of species of animals because from ethical reasons. I mean, it's not to become. I mean, to eat only because we are hungry or we are not to become, like predators. Yes, not to become like predators. Not to kind of tsar ba'alei chaim. I don't know if you can translate it. Just to remember that and of course we are forbidden to eat the blood because the blood is the nefesh, is the and belongs to God, but it's a kind of ethical point of view.
Did any of it have anything to do with what other people were eating?
Yes, yes, you're right. And well, I know that the other nations around Israel ate also the blood, and this is one of the separations, okay, that God forbidden us. And also, yeah, they ate everything. Yeah, yes.
Did it also have to do with just to separate the Jews from the other people? Like to see who's going to listen and who's not going to listen? They'll say you go into this group and you go to this group.
Yes, I think that's what just Gary said, something similar. Yeah, I think you're right, Lisa. That's to separate our people from other people, to make other customs, other. What do you think about this sort of ethical reasons?
I think the ethics in modern kashrut doesn't come into it because we have factory farming, which is kosher, and the way animals are treated by the kosher slaughterers is diabolical. And yet the kashrut, the rabbinotes accept that. So the thing of preventing animals from suffering is really hypocrisy.
I want to say something about that. I think it's really not ethical at all. I think the way they do it is outrageous. How they can put cows on a boat and sheep on a boat for weeks and weeks at a time in appalling conditions and just call it kosher. I think if it was for ethical reasons, it'd be one thing. But I think they do everything they can to make it unethical, and they do it all for profit. And I think they make a big joke out of kashrut.
Yeah.
I think there is some logic in it that we can eat only animals that are peaceful, like chickens, like dogs, like that, but not animals that are warlike,
Yeah,
like a lion or a tiger or something like that. And
Not
that's
predators.
an ethical aspect of it.
There's
Yeah.
also, at the time that we're talking about, these animals were already domesticated.
Yes.
These were animals that people raised. So they weren't, I mean, it's possible that they would go out and find wild animals, but I think they only would be, they're talking about, animals in the herd, animals in the flock. And so these are all domesticated animals that they're talking about, and even like chickens that are domesticated. Of course, the fish weren't, but
Yeah.
but at that time they already were, shepherds and cattle herders.
Yeah. I think.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but this is that's
Well, to
what
me,
they did
I
at the
think that
time.
I do think, I mean, I agree with what you say, not to eat animals that are predators and all that, but even between the vegetarian animals, I do think there is something ethical, which I agree that is not today because of how they treat the animals today, but I'm not talking about today. In the ancient, when this was written or when this was given, I do think that, I mean, not to eat all that moves, or everything that you see you can eat. No, just be more humble or something like that. Be more. Not everything is allowed. Not all animals are allowed for you, even if they are just vegetarian. Something like just a smaller way of not to eat all the animals. Anyway, תודה רבה. Thank you all for joining. And see you next time with Megillat Esther. You do have the Megillat Esther in English,
Yes.
everyone? Yeah? No? So, I mean, there is in the internet, I can send, and please send me your emails in the WhatsApp group. I will just send the materials. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Shabbat shalom to everyone.
Bye,
Shabbat
everybody.
Bye.
Shalom. Bye-bye.
Seger Tov.
לילה טוב.
Aura,
Yeah.
Aura, just want to comment. Being vegetarian myself for 50 years, I'm not too keen on this chapter. So
Yeah.
I think you're going to sort of skip it quickly.
Okay. Well, now we move directly to Esther, the book of Esther. Okay.
Bye. Shabbat
Bye-bye.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom.